What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 31st day of December in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. President Irfan Ali today expressed confidence that the Guyana Elections Commission will be ready for the next general elections to take place next year. At a press conference this afternoon, the president told reporters that he was sure that the Elections Commission would have all of the necessary systems in place to facilitate the elections.
I'm sure they'll be ready for the elections, and we as a government, we are of course very, very much ready.
It was noted that additional funding for GECOM would be provided through the national budget, which is expected to be presented early in the first quarter of next year.
The budget will take care of all the resources or additional resources as required for the elections, and we have made it very clear that whatever resources is required for the elections, it will be made available. What we want is the continuation of democracies, transparent election, free and fair elections.
A few weeks ago, Vice President Barrett Jagdeo said the Elections Commission should have all the systems in place by August of next year to facilitate the general and regional elections. He said once GECOM is in a state of readiness, the president will proceed to name a date for the elections, which could be as late as November. Ahead of those elections, the opposition is hoping that steps are taken to thoroughly sanitize the voters list and put systems in place to facilitate electronic voting and the use of biometrics at the place of poll. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. It can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Did you know that Guyana has produced 500 million barrels of oil in less than 5 years? Production currently stands at approximately 650,000 barrels per day and is expected to reach 1.2 million barrels daily by 2027. Driving Guyana's future prosperity.
Premier Promotions, The Sheriff Entertainment, and Team Rodney presents Day One, featuring Governor, live from Jamaica.
Yo, shut your mouth with a little bit of money.
Man a star, yo, I know every girl fit me.
Governor at Flashback Washdown, Aziza Akusa Creek, outside Splashmans, Sunday, 5th January. Also featuring Quelly Ranks and Oosh Boss, Bobby Cush and Jerome, Slingers Family, Notorious International, and Green Downs. Day 1, Flashback Washdown, featuring Governor, live.
Girl, you have a cute and a little.
Gates open at 9 a.m. Admission easy. Sponsored by Crowns Auto Nation, Extra Beer, Fireside Grill, and Rodney's Court. Day 1.
In the agriculture sector, sugar production fell by more than 21% this year, a disappointed Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa reported earlier this week. He told journalists that a major management shakeup will take place next year if GECOM does not get its act together and ramp up production. Initially, GECOM had anticipated that sugar production would have ranged between 60,000 and 70,000 tons by the end of the year. The agriculture minister had predicted that GECOM would have produced as much as 100,000 tons of sugar. But 12 months later, and after billions of dollars in investments, the agriculture minister admitted a disappointed year for the sugar company.
The sugar production is just over 47,000 tons. They would have a shortfall about almost 21% short.
And expressing his dissatisfaction, Minister Mustafa said from the first crop the government knew that production would have fallen below the target. It was explained that during the first crop, GECOM produced 7,000 tons of sugar, as against the projected 16,000 tons. The agriculture minister said the shortfall was as a result of a number of factors, including stunted growth in sugarcane and poor weather. Throughout his presentation at the end-of-year press conference, the agriculture minister, while providing statistics on rice production and other crops, fell short in providing similar statistics on sugar. And it was not until he was asked about sugar production that he provided answers. He reiterated earlier statements made by the president that the management shakeup will take place in the new year if GECOM fails to meet its production target.
And also in the new year, we'll see some changes in management of GECOM at various estates. They are already contemplating to move managers. Some managers will come out of the system.
Minister Mustafa said the government is very dissatisfied with GECOM's performance and will have to take some action.
We want GECOM to ensure that they reduce their cost of production, they achieve their targets. That is why we have technical support. We have brought in technical support also for them. We have a set of technical expertise from India and Cuba working along with GECOM.
He said GECOM has assured the government that it will accelerate its mechanization program going forward. At present, 40% of its land has been converted as part of its mechanization program, which is intended to enhance its operation and production. President Irfan Ali today said that he's actively pursuing the issue regarding a substantive chancellor of the judiciary and a substantive chief justice. But he did not say if the two justices acting in the position, Janet Cummings and Roxanne George, would be confirmed. At a press conference, the president said there are several factors that have to be looked at in considering before appointment takes place.
As president, the issue of the chancellor and chief justice is one that is being continuously looked at. It's not that we don't have a chancellor and chief justice now. We do have a chancellor and chief justice acting, just like we had a commissioner of police acting for a period, and the police commissioner was confirmed recently. I didn't invent the situation. I didn't invent the situation of the acting chancellor and chief justice. But yes, I take the point that, we have to move ahead with this.
The current acting chancellor and acting chief justice have been acting in the position since 2017. And while the opposition has long pledged its support for their confirmation, there has been no move on the part of the president. The judiciary, however, has not been spared of criticism by the government. The president was asked today if that is part of the reason he has not moved to confirm the two top judicial officers. He made clear that if such a critic exists, it does not inform his decision.
There's a process to be followed, and as president, I would follow the process, taking into consideration all the circumstances that exist to ensure that we have the Chancellor and Chief Justice that that would continue to take the judiciary into a place that all of us will be proud of.
Guyana has not had a substantive Chief Justice since 2001 and a substantive Chancellor since 2005.
GECOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing January 2, 2025 to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you will be 18 years or over by December 31, 2024, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GECOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed and, if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. You must visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Wednesday, the 22nd of January 2025. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-027-8-9 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Premier Promotions, the Sheriff Entertainment, and Team Rodney presents Day 1 featuring Governor live from Jamaica.
Yo, shut your mouth with a little bit of money.
Sure, man a star, yo, I know every girl fit me.
Governor at Flashback Washdown, Aziza Akusa Creek outside Splashmans, Sunday 5th January. Also featuring Quelly Ranks and Oosh Boss, Bobby Cush and Jerome, Slingers Family, Notorious International, and Green Downs. Day 1, Flashback Washdown, featuring Governor live.
Girl, you have the cute and a little.
Gates open at 9 a.m. Admission easy. Sponsored by Crowns Auto Nation, Extra Beer, Fireside Grill, and Rodney's Court. Day 1.
The Georgetown Public Hospital has announced that it continues to make significant improvements in the area of maternal and neonatal care, as it also continues to record fewer deaths. At an end-of-year press conference on Monday, the chief executive officer at the hospital, Robbie Rambaran, said the hospital has made history once again by recording the lowest number of maternal deaths in its history. He said in 2024, the hospital has recorded a total of 8 maternal deaths compared to 10 last year, which at the time was the lowest in the hospital's history.
Of those 8 maternal deaths, each and every one of them was referred to us in a very critical state. We wish we could have done better or more for them, but I will say the care that they would have gotten where they were and they got from us would have been the same, because they were basically transferred and housed at Georgetown Hospital in the ICU in a very critical conditions.
Mr. Rambaran said the 8 maternal deaths were all indirect, meaning that the patients did not die as a result of obstetric complications during pregnancy, childbirth, or postpartum period, but rather died as a result of poisoning, accident, or pre-existing conditions or diseases.
For this year as well, neonatal deaths are 4-1. If I recall the number correctly, last year it was 87, was it? 83 last year. And that is more than 50% decrease in neonatal deaths.
According to records presented to the press last year, the hospital recorded a total of 98 neonatal deaths. A neonate is a newborn baby that is less than 4 weeks old. In 2019, there were 124 neonatal deaths, followed by 118 in 2020 and 2021, and some 129 deaths in 2022.
The Guyana Elections Commission GECOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing January 2, 2025 to produce an official list of electors OLE. GECOM has posted the preliminary list of electors PLE in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed and, if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you'll be 18 years or over by December 31, 2024 and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. If you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE, you are required to apply for registration if your name is not in the PLE, apply for a transfer if you have changed your address since you were registered, apply for a name change if you have changed your name, or apply for a correction if your registration particulars are incorrect. Any person whose information on the PLE is incorrect can apply for such information to be changed or corrected. Any person applying for a change or correction to his or her particulars must provide the relevant original source document, birth certificate and a deed poll for a name change by deed poll, marriage certificate and ID card for a name change by marriage, divorce absolute in the case of a woman who is desirous of reverting to her maiden name from her married name, birth certificate, adoption certificate, naturalization certificate for a correction of minor clerical errors. Visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. The claims aspect of this exercise will end on Wednesday, 15th January 2025. For further information, contact GECOM at 225-027829 or visit our website at www.gecom.org.gy.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyana is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyana's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyana has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. I can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith. One day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Across the region tonight, Puerto Ricans were without electricity from this morning after a grid failure left almost all of the island without power. Around 90% of clients were without power from 9:30 this morning. It will likely take as much as 48 hours to turn the lights back on, officials in Puerto Rico have said. One official said the line believed to have failed was operated by the power company and brought down plants belonging to another power company. The governor of Puerto Rico said in a post on social media that his administration was demanding answers and solutions from the two power companies. The Attorney General in Venezuela, Tariq Saab, has said that 413 more people arrested over election protests are to be freed, taking the total number of prisoners released to 1,369. In recent weeks, the Attorney General has announced a series of releases of groups of more than 2,000 people who were arrested for taking part in protests after the July elections. And finally tonight, international news. The UN Human Rights Office says Israeli attacks on and around hospitals have pushed Gaza's healthcare system to the brink of total collapse and raised serious concerns about war crimes and crimes against humanity. A new report describes a pattern in which Israeli forces struck, besieged, and forcibly evacuated hospitals, leading to patients dying or being killed. It acknowledges Israel's allegations that hospitals have been used by Palestinian armed groups, but says the evidence is vague. Israel's mission in Geneva said the report was an expression of what it called the UN Human Rights Office's politically driven obsession with Israel, and that it relied on information from Hamas health authorities. It stressed that Israeli forces operated in accordance with international law. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight and this year. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and wishing you and yours a happy new year.